Hey everyone, Kyle here. If you haven't heard about Anchor by Spotify, it's the easiest way to make a podcast with everything you need all in one place. Let me explain a little bit. Anchor has tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. When hosting on Anchor, you can distribute your podcast on listening platforms like Spotify, Apple Podcast, and so much more. It's everything you need to make a podcast all in one place. And best of all, Anchor is totally free. So download the Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started. That's ANCHOR.fm. They'll have everything you need all in one place. I can speak from my experience. It's been awesome so far and super easy. So go check it out, guys, and we'll see you later. All right, welcome everyone. This is Our Travel Experiences. I'm Kyle Rasmussen, and today I have with me a special guest, a friend that I met while traveling abroad. I have Taghreed. Taghreed, how are you today?
Hi, Kyle. I'm good. Doing very well, recovering from COVID. Things are becoming, yeah, good. Thank you. How are
Yeah,
you?
yeah, I'm doing well. I'm glad to hear that you're recovering from COVID. It's been a nasty virus all around the world.
I know it's being now, everyone is getting it. So I think it's the time that everyone will get it and will like live with this virus.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I agree with that. So when we were talking right before we jumped on the recording here, you kind of wanted to share how we met. So I'm curious to to hear what your thoughts are on the day that we met.
Yeah, actually, it was like very funny. We were sitting in a lounge in like Italy, Florence, and your friend Russell saw us sitting, and he wanted an extra chair, so he came to our table and asked if he can like sit. Actually, not only taking the chair, and we welcomed you guys to the table, and we sat together. It was a lovely evening. I loved it.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun, and we stayed up a lot later than I was expecting that night.
Exactly. I loved it as Florence in general. Like I picked Florence to travel to. It was like very random. I wanted to do like a trip, solo trip, and this was my
Hmm.
first solo trip ever in my life. I've never traveled
Oh,
alone.
really?
I traveled like for 2 3 days, which doesn't count. But like to travel alone for 2 weeks as a Saudi female was a little bit new to me and not very pleasant to my family. I had to convince them for that and make
Hmm.
sure that I'm like visiting and everything will be fine. So yeah, but I was glad I we crossed each other's path, yeah, in Florence. That was a pleasant coincidence.
Yeah, I think that's one of the fun things about traveling is you meet people from all over the world. I mean, who would have thought, you know, we'd run into each other in Florence, Italy. I'm from the US, you're from Saudi Arabia. We were talking with a German and some Belgians and a guy from Ireland, and it was just kind of a nice melting pot of people that came together.
Yeah, it was very exactly. It's a melting pot with everyone was sitting, even with our friends from Belgium. They visited me, Mugan and Roj. They visited me in Saudi, in Riyadh in November, and it was very
Oh,
lovely
really?
to connect with them again. Yeah, I
Oh, that's
took them.
awesome.
Yeah, guys, I'm like waiting for you. I told you you have to come to Saudi. I told Russell I invited you many times because Saudi now is like opening up and things are changing where like you can apply to like a tourism visa and come and visit and
Hmm.
our cultural and nature and cultural is very rich and it would I'm definitely يعني, very confident to tell you you would be amazed when you visit Saudi here.
Yeah, I would love to go there. That's definitely towards the top of my list of places to go. Um, for everyone listening, like I was telling you before we hopped on, it's not a place that we hear a lot about, and usually when we hear about Saudi Arabia or the Middle East, it's usually in some sort of negative context. But what can you tell the listeners about Saudi Arabia and just kind of some of the places or things to do that make Saudi so great?
Yeah, it's like Saudi. It's a melting pot. Like we have very different, and it's from a region to a region. It's very diverse. People here live in harmony, though they are different in like food and music. Like here in the West, I'm from the West. I'm from Jeddah, Saudi Arabia, but I live in
Okay.
Riyadh for work. But Jeddah, for example, is like different from other regions from when it comes to food, music, our traditions, weddings,
Mhm.
funerals, you know. But we're all living in harmony, and like this diversity gives us like something to show to the world. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, I think that's one of the cool things about traveling too, is that even when you travel to a new place, there's a lot of different cultures within inside, the one culture that you're in. So you can get different experiences in different parts of the country.
Yeah, exactly. And it gives you a different perspective from the nation that or the country you're visiting. That's
Hmm.
absolutely right.
Yeah, yeah,
Hmm.
definitely.
Yeah.
So what are some of the, top things that you'd recommend to someone visiting, visiting Saudi Arabia? What's the top things to do or see there?
Actually, I would like recommend to visit the UNESCO cultural sites. We have like in Jeddah, we have the historical district, which is very rich with buildings that has is being built more than 200 years ago. We have also
Wow.
Tarif. Yeah, it's very lovely to walk around the historical area, meet the local people, try the local food, hear the stories about the people in Jeddah, or the people who lived in this area or this district before the modern Saudi country or kingdom was formed. We have as well in the capital city of Saudi Arabia, we have the Tarif district, which is where the Al Saud, the royal family, is from. So they have like old palaces, aged like 100, 200 years old ago, and it's very authentic, very nice, very beautiful. It's a UNESCO site as well. Also, we have in the
Wow.
eastern side of Saudi Arabia, you have like Al Hassa. Al Hassa is like has the biggest palm oasis in the world. It's
Oh,
so
really?
pretty. Yeah, yeah, it is so pretty, especially in the winter. It's like you cannot miss it.
How big is it?
It's like huge. I'm not sure about how big is like in the size, but it's recorded in the UNESCO as the biggest palm oasis in the world.
Wow.
Yeah. Also, we have like in the southern or region, we have like some islands which are Virgin Islands. People never been there, and now it's being open for tourism to visit. I visited like in 2020. I visited Jazan. Jazan is the one of the big cities in the in South Saudis, in South Saudi. They have like I visited a Virgin Island, which was so pretty. Like the water is crystal clear, the beaches are very clean, and now they're developing the area and to like accommodate more tourists and taking care of the environment as well.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, that's awesome. That's so cool to hear. That's not something I think about when I think about Saudi Arabia is islands.
I know we have, by the way, we have. I'm amazed as well because I've never been exposed to all of these areas. When we were young, we were only traveling around the cities around Jeddah where I used to live. But now with like the huge tourism, internal tour or local tourism campaigns that were launched during COVID, because the traveling was banned in Saudi, international
Mhm.
traveling, yeah, due to COVID and etc. So it was an opportunity for us to explore Saudi in a different way. So I traveled a couple of times to some places, And I was amazed that our environment is like very diverse. We have like mountains, we have islands, we have even the desert. Like we have Al Ula. I don't know if you ever heard of Al Ula. Al Ula now is becoming an international hub for like art and culture, and it's an area. It looks it has like a mountain. Special, the mountains looks very unique, and so many people are visiting internationally visiting Alola, like stars and singers and actresses or actors. It was like very interesting to look at.
Huh. That's
Yeah.
crazy. It's so interesting because again, I would never think about those things. I've never heard about any of what you just told me. Um,
Alicia Keys was in Alola like a few
really?
months ago. Yeah, with her
Oh
husband.
wow.
Yeah, it was very interesting to have her in Alola. It's a beautiful
Did you go
area.
and see her perform?
No, I'm not sure if no, she didn't perform, but she was visiting as like to relax or something like that
Hmm.
in Al Ola. But she didn't perform yet. I think I heard she might perform this year in Al Ola, but I'm not sure. I would definitely go see Alicia Keys. She's one of my favorites.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Um, what are some like I guess like cultural norms or cultural things that someone traveling there might need to be aware of?
Actually, like norms is like some people, like for example, let's take my friend Moran, who we met in the Belgium,
Hmm.
who we met in Florence. I told her like now the laws are changed, and we're giving more. Yeah, there is more freedom for people to wear whatever they want, and like covering your hair is not mandatory anymore for
Hmm.
any people in Saudi. So you can feel free to wear whatever you feel like. But she was like, she liked to wear the abaya. The abaya is like the gown that women wear to when they go
Hmm.
out. And I told her, yes, it's my favorite. And I love the abaya. Abaya is, for me, it's a fashion statement. I love to showcase the abayas and be creative and the colors, the
Yeah,
designs. So Moran loved that, and she wore the abaya while she was out. Actually, just being decent, like there is nothing to be worried about, except that alcohol is not legal in Saudi Arabia, so it's not served in any public places. And
interesting.
holding or having alcohol publicly might be trouble. But people who are traveling are like trying to like move around with and accepting this. And I've never heard or read something related to tourists who are here and struggled with alcohol. Like it's they respected that, and خلاص, it's maybe it's a time to
Yeah,
travel and have like a break or like detox
yeah,
from yeah
honestly.
yeah
Especially after being in Italy for a little bit, it might be a good time to take a break.
exactly. I wish like oh my god, in Italy we had like carbs were the problem in Italy. Like I had so much pizza and pasta. And
Yep.
I put so much weight after that. I even started to work out afterwards, and yeah, it was. How many pizza and pasta did you like count? Because for me, it
Oh
was
my
like
gosh.
daily.
Yeah, at least once a day was having some sort of pasta or pizza.
I
Um,
know.
I felt the same way. I was like, man, like even though I walked a lot and everything, I still gained a little bit of weight, which is crazy.
It's crazy, and I'm watching your fitness progress, and I think you're putting down so many weight that you gained from Italy.
Trying to.
That was
Um,
great progress. Yeah.
thanks. Yeah, so tell me about your time in Italy. You said it was your first solo trip. What was it like being out on your own, and what'd you think of Italy?
Yeah, so I was in Italy for like 2 weeks. The first week I was in a retreat in
Hmm.
Lake Orta near to Milan. It's like 1 hour drive from Milan. Um, Actually, it was my first time in that retreat. It's called Mandali Retreat. If anyone wants to look at the Mandali Retreat, I had like the best time ever in my life because I've never traveled to a retreat. I never traveled solo. So being in a retreat, not knowing anything about it, not knowing who are the people who I'm going to meet,
Mm-hmm.
was a surprise. Actually, I traveled with zero expectations. So that made my trip amazing and awesome,
Mm-hmm.
meeting people and being open to meet people from all over the world. So the first week was the retreat. I enjoyed my time because I was having a hard time before deciding to travel.
Mm-hmm.
I was depressed for some time and I wanted a change. I wanted like to travel for myself to develop and like get to feel better because they always say traveling heal everything.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah, so this retreat like literally changed. It was a life changing eye opener. Changed everything, how I look to the world, and helped me a lot in my depression phase. And that afterward, I decided to. I was speaking actually to a colleague, and I told him I'm traveling to Italy for a retreat, but I'm not sure what to do after the retreat because I have 2 weeks off. So he
Mm-hmm.
told me, "Oh, why not visiting Florence? Because Florence is beautiful. They have good food. It's an open air museum, and it was like very beautiful. I was walking, and like my
Yeah.
head is like in the sky. I cannot put my head down. Yeah, and my eyes were like all over the place, looking at the beautiful aesthetics around the city. So I
Mm-hmm.
was like, oh, this sounds interesting, especially that it was my first time in Italy. So I put Florence in the list and I planned everything accordingly. Like I booked Airbnb experiences, and
Mm-hmm.
there where I met Muran and Regis and also our friend Chris from Malta. Yeah, and it was such a beautiful coincidence to meet them. We like attended a class where we did our own pasta and pizza, not pizza, only pasta, but we did spaghetti and ravioli with our with the instructor Valentina. Hi Valentina, if she hears us. Um, she's an amazing soul. I'm in touch with her up until now. We send each other messages and
Oh, really? That's awesome.
yeah, and like Christmas, New Year, hi, Happy New Year. I miss her so much. And next time I'm in Florence, definitely I'm going to like to see her. So yeah, so I've been around like doing experiences, and it is very important for me to look at the city from an angle, from a local angle, and to meet also people from all over
Mm-hmm.
the world. And this is the beautiful thing about solo traveling because you're not attached or you're not scheduled or you have to be mandatory to be with the people you're traveling with. Like
Yeah.
floating, yeah, in the sky. Floating, I mean, freely, meeting everyone. I met Rita as well. Rita is, she's American Russian and she's a female traveling solo as well. She's a beautiful lady, and we went to the pasta class together, and we kept meeting each other by coincidence,
Really?
and the yeah
Mm.
around the area and around the piazzas around Florence. It
Mm-hmm.
was interesting. Like every time we meet, every time we walk around and we see each other by coincidence, was like very funny.
Oh, that's wild.
Yeah, that's why I know. Maybe Florence is like a small city, but again, what are the odds? Like to meet
Yeah,
a person
seriously.
3 times. Yeah.
That's
So
funny.
yeah, yani reverting to the point that traveling solo give you an opportunity to meet people because you're not
Mm-hmm.
stuck with people. Like traveling with people is fun and nice, the people, friends and family. But again, solo traveling, like I would give an if I would recommend something to cure and heal your soul, travel solo.
Yeah, yeah, I totally agree. I've done both solo and group travel, and it's just
Mm,
a little bit different experience. Like you said, with solo travel, you're not attached to anyone, and if you want to if you want to have people to talk to, you got to go meet some people
yeah.
in the place that you're in. So I think it's a really easy way to kind of force yourself to one to kind of figure out things for your own, and kind of learn by yourself, but also to meet a lot of great people from around the world, obviously.
Yeah,
So I think
absolutely right.
that's one of the, the pros of going on a trip by yourself.
Yeah, amazing. And actually, you can use like tools and like apps to meet people. I've been
Hmm.
using Airbnb experiences. I've been using as well couch surfing. Couchsurf have like a feature. It's called Hangout Now. So I met Rita through Hangout Now. I put like I want to explore the area, and we met. She told me, "Hi, I'm a female. I want to like hang out with you if you don't mind." I was like, "Yeah, definitely." And we kept doing meeting the days after we met, as I told you by coincidence. And we planned to go to the Airbnb experience together. Also, sometimes if I want to go to a museum or something, I also put in the Hangout Now. I've met people not only in Italy, because before I went to Italy, I was in Geneva for like a transit for like for a day. I met also a cool person from he's half Ukrainian, half American, was in Geneva, and we explored the area together. We had lunch together, and up until now we're friends. We're in touch up until like a few days
Wow.
ago. Yeah, he's a cool person. Hi, Dimitri, if you hear us. So yeah, it's man, like والله this والله in Arabic it means I swear to God, this trip really healed my soul. Yeah.
Wow, that's amazing. That's another thing I love about traveling is, it really can, it can be therapy in a way, I guess.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
I find it very therapeutic. It's kind of like my therapy for sure, and my kind of happy place is to be exploring the world. So that's awesome to hear that it's really helped you out.
Thank you so much. And I would love to learn from you some tips for solo traveling since you're a pro in that and you've done it many times.
Well, I honestly, I really like the idea of the Airbnb experiences and the Hangout Now. I'm gonna have to check those out because I haven't really done much of that. Um, I've really personally just done a lot of, just traveling. Like I find a hostel that I want to stay in, and
Hmm.
then I just have like a kind of a list of things I want to do in the place that I'm in, and I just go and I make it happen, and find the bar or the pub or some place to hang out for a little bit, and end up meeting some people from wherever. So I think you're doing
Hmm.
things right the way that you are. But I think the most important part is just doing it, just going, making
Yeah,
it however you want to make it, and just going and seeing what you want to see.
yeah, absolutely. And there are so many ways to do that, especially with the technology
Hmm.
now. And we live
Oh
like
yeah.
in a booming era where we can find anything easily and meet people like much easier than any time before.
Hmm. Yeah, I will say one thing that has really helped with solo travel is using Uber or Lyft.
Oh,
You can use that in a lot of different places around the world. At least, in the times I've used it, I've been able to. But that's been nice to make it easy to get around initially,
hmm,
um, because it can be hard with the language barrier potentially to try to find a taxi or find some way to get to your hotel or wherever you need to
yeah.
go
Yeah,
initially.
right. And also, Google Translate is has
Yeah.
been my friend. I during my
Hmm.
trip to Italy because I don't speak Italiano,
Me
and
either.
I've been putting the sentences in the Google Translate and like play the voice to anyone who I want to like talk to in Italian,
Hmm.
but like yeah, the language barrier sometimes gets to be like an kind of annoying thing.
Yeah, it can definitely be difficult for sure. In Saudi Arabia, do people speak English much at all?
Yeah, like majority, like I'm not gonna say all of people, but in the
Hmm.
big cities, like in the capital city, Riyadh, and in Jeddah. Jeddah is considered the second capital city in Saudi Arabia. Majority of people there speak English, and if it's not fluently, it's like a decent English where you can understand.
Hmm.
But like there are like a huge portion of the population who don't speak. But
Yeah.
you will find your way. You will find your way. Like my dad is he doesn't know how to speak English, but when we travel abroad, like in Europe or anywhere in the world, I usually get very to be amazed to look at him, and he like move on with things and get things done very quickly, and I don't know how.
Huh.
Yeah, they find a way somehow.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's just an extra challenge, but for the most part, I think people can figure it out. Um,
yeah,
there's some places are easier than others for sure.
yeah.
Um,
What about Italy? What was how was Italy for you? Like, did you learn some Italian words rather than grazie or amore, amore?
yeah. Yeah, I tried to. It's been what, 4 months now, so I've
Yeah.
forgotten pretty much everything I've learned other than buongiorno. Um,
Buongiorno, buona
yeah,
giornata.
yeah,
Buona
um,
giornata means I think good evening or have a good
yeah.
day,
Good
something
evening,
like
good
that.
night.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. But other than that, I don't really remember much.
Again, if you want to learn, like continue learning about a language, I've been using Duolingo after my
Oh
trip
yeah,
to Italy, and like I finished level one,
nice.
which has all the like, yeah, all the like the words that I've been using, but
Hmm.
consistency is a key. Like
Yeah,
with
definitely.
work and things I had to do the past 3 months. I barely found time to continue the lessons. Yeah.
Hmm. Yeah, no, I've used Duolingo in the past, and I think it's a really great app,
Mm-hmm.
especially for learning the basics and everything. And I'm actually using it. I'm trying to use it right now, but kind of same with you. I'm busy, so it's hard to find the time. But I'm trying to
Yeah.
refresh my Spanish right now because I'm planning to go to Colombia. Probably about the time that this will air. Um, so I'm going
Mm-hmm.
going with the same group that I was with in Italy. So
Oh,
that should be fun.
yeah, that would be fun. But you guys are like planning a trip very soon, or
So
something
it's
like that?
so I guess I should say it's with the same company. It probably won't be the same people,
Mm-hmm.
um, but with the same company that Russell and I were with um, in Italy.
Oh, cool. I'm
Yeah.
going to Italy again in March
Oh
for
yeah.
the same retreat because they're doing another retreat in March, and it's
Oh, very cool.
yeah. I think I'm addicted to retreats, but yeah, shout out to them. Like it's an amazing place to be at, and it's part of like I want to start the year with like a good kickoff to like feel good about myself and try to boost and kick off my creativity as I'm a journalist as a background. I've studied journalism, mass communication in the American
Mhm.
University of Sharjah in UAE. But like I want to be a writer and an artist, and I've been drawing since 2007, but
Oh wow.
never published or being I have never been consistent in that. So I want to like break this barrier, and as the writer block, they call it the writer block. I think there
Hmm.
is an artist block as well.
Yeah.
So I want to be more confident about like painting and being sharing my artwork to the world and sharing the things that I write as well, because I write in Arabic and I want to also write in English, because I have people I know from all over the world, would love to share with them what I have as a thought in my head. And you've been like very inspiring, Kyle, because you're
Well, thank you. I'm
wow, very
trying to.
active. Mashallah, mashallah. In Arabic, we say in our culture in Saudi Arabia, we say mashallah. It means God bless, give you all the blessings to continue.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. That's again, with this podcast, with the things that I post on Instagram, that sort of thing, that's my goal, is to inspire people to share their passion with the world, to travel, to share their art, that
Yeah.
sort of thing. So I think you should totally share your art.
Very
It
soon,
doesn't have
maybe.
to be perfect or anything. Like, this podcast is certainly not perfect. Um,
Yeah.
but it's fun to just do it and make it happen, and just kind of share it and see what happens.
Yeah, yeah. I've learned something over the past few months is like you don't have to start big. Start like baby steps, and then
Hmm.
things with like experiences, with like being out to the world, speaking up, writing, drawing. You will get better with time. You don't have to start big. Like baby steps toward the thing or the goal that you want to pursue or achieve.
Yep, for sure.
Yeah,
It's just you can't get to where you want to be without taking all the little steps in between. And so it's just, you got to kind of break down the goal to, what's something small that I can do today to make progress towards where I want to be.
absolutely. Yeah, and thank you for being that source of inspiration. Keep it up.
Trying to. I'll do my best. That inspires me to do more of that. Is hearing
Yeah,
from people like you about it.
thank you.
Um,
Mhm.
so, what are some of the other travels that you've experienced recently?
Oh yeah. So especially with now Omicron is like spiking around and it's everywhere. I've been traveling the past 4 or 3 months around the GCC area. So I've been to Bahrain, I've been to Dubai, and Dubai was amazing, especially with the Expo 2020 that is happening.
Hmm.
It was like mind blowing, man. The whole thing, the experience, the user experience. Once you enter, you feel like they have thought of everything that comes and doesn't come to your mind about the journey.
Hmm.
For me, Expo was like very inspiring trip because I've learned about so many cultures by visiting the pavilions of each of so many countries. I didn't finish them because it's like it's very huge and takes so much time. So I visited a couple of the pavilions, like the Indonesian pavilion was beautiful, the Egyptian, the Emirati pavilion, UAE, was very beautiful, and I've learned a lot about the UAE community and as a country. I've been living in Sharjah and Dubai. Sharjah is like a city in UAE, because I studied there for 4 years and lived in
Hmm.
Dubai for 2 years afterwards. So I lived like almost 6, 7 years there. But there are so many things that I didn't know about, and I learned about it in the UAE pavilion in the expo. Also, the Saudi pavilion was very beautiful. Um, Not because I'm from Saudi, but like to be honest, guys, they did an amazing job. The team who worked on the expo, the Saudi pavilion. The Indonesian was very mind blowing because they did like dances, cultural dances, and I
Hmm.
participated in one of the dances, and it was very nice.
Oh, yeah.
We Yeah, we tried their food as well, and told them something inspiring. They were very amazed about it because, and just to give you a small brief, in Jeddah, like the town where I'm from, my hometown, is like a melting pot because people long time ago, like when I say long time ago, it's like more than since the prophet's time, they come to Mecca. Mecca is the holy city
Hmm.
for Muslims to do pilgrimage. So many people came and they reside in Jeddah. So Jeddah is very diverse. We have so many cultures living ethnicities living together in harmony.
Yeah.
And one of the cultures or the ethnicity that lives here, originally they are from Indonesia, but they are Saudis. So
Hmm.
the people from Indonesia, like from Jawa Island or something like that. So
Hmm.
I mean the Indonesian food has been in our tables since forever. Like since I was a kid, we eat Indonesian food as like one of our daily food.
Yeah.
So yeah, so I told the people in the Indonesian pavilion about that, and they were amazed, like, wow, we didn't know that. I told them, yeah, we have like families who's originally from Indonesia, but they're Saudi, and we eat their food. We eat the Indonesian food. It's super delicious, very diverse, and very rich in like flavor. So
Hmm.
they were amazing. We tried the food in the pavilion as well. It was good, very very delicious. Yeah. So this is why Expo's there, is like to give you an opportunity to meet people and
Yeah, that's
yeah,
awesome.
get exposed to different like cultures. Mhm.
Hmm. Is that like one time a year they have that expo, or
No, I
how
think
does that work?
it happens every 4 year in like
Every 4 years?
yeah, in different city. So
Hmm.
4 years ago it was in Milan in Italy,
Okay.
and yeah, and in Dubai it was supposed to happen in 2020, but due to COVID, they
Yeah.
postponed it a year. So it's called Expo 2020, but it actually happened in October 2021. Yeah.
Oh gosh, that's funny. Yeah, that's really cool. I'd love to get to one of those
Yeah,
sometime.
well,
You know.
actually, like just to give you like a small idea about Expo, it's let's say a huge exhibition where people come from all over the world. Even we
Hmm.
have I've seen the USA pavilion. They exhibit ideas and share inventions or something like that. I read also in the history of Expo that the first time the telephone was exhibited during the expo of 18 something
Oh wow.
like in the 19th century. Yeah, so it's interesting to know about it. Yeah, I visited.
Huh. Very cool. Do you know where the
Mhm.
next one is at?
I think in 2024, but I'm not sure where, which
Hmm.
city. But what I know is Saudi Arabia applied to host the Expo 2030, like in 10 years or 9 years from
Okay.
now. I mean, 8 years from now. Uh,
Okay.
so yeah, I
Well,
hope we win the bet.
yeah, yeah, definitely. Hopefully I get to Saudi Arabia before then, but if not, if they
And the
win that,
expo.
I'll definitely be there.
No, please come before that, before 2030.
Yeah. It seems like such a long time from now.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, so what other travels have you gotten to the US or to other places, maybe in Asia or somewhere like that?
Yeah, I don't want to surprise you, but I've never been to the States in my life. Never
Okay.
ever.
Uh,
I've been saying this to so many people, and they became very surprised. And how come? Because we are very exposed to the American culture, but
mhm.
and we're very like affected by it, like the movies and I mean the food, or even fashion and language. But I've never been to the States before.
Mhm.
Asia side, not really as well. It's in my radar. Like I want to explore it soon, but due to COVID, it's being postponed a lot of our plans. But
Yeah,
I've been
that's for
to
sure.
like, yeah, I've been mostly in Europe. I visited South Africa in like 2011 after the World Cup 2010.
Oh yeah, yeah.
It was like longer time ago, yeah, almost 10 years, 11 years now.
Hmm.
Wow. So yeah, I've been like in Europe and like Paris, Prague, Czech, Germany, London, of course, and yeah, around this area.
Yeah, very cool.
As Saudi, like we usually travel as family, so most of my
Hmm.
trips were like with my family, and I go wherever they choose to go.
Hmm.
And as a kid as well, because I'm not like I would love to consider myself as young, but I'm 30 now. But
Still
yeah,
young.
so I'm still young, but like I used to travel a lot with the family, Europe and the like some of the Arabic countries like Lebanon, Egypt, Kuwait, UAE, because I lived there. So yeah.
Oh man, all places I want to go.
Please, you need like a month to explore GCC and like MENA region in
Hmm.
general, like because I really want to visit Morocco, for example. It's so
Yeah.
pretty. Yeah, Egypt is also a very pretty country. Lebanon, but unfortunately now situation in Lebanon is like a bit sensitive with the struggles with their currency and electricity and
Hmm.
so on. Yeah, South
Yeah.
Africa was amazing. Mhm.
Yeah. What'd you like about South Africa?
Oh man, South Africa is. I felt very connected to South Africa, maybe because it reminded me of Jeddah. Jeddah is a melting pot, as I said before. So
Hmm.
South Africa was the same to me. Like I was amazed with the culture. I was amazed with the different ethnicities living together in harmony, and all of them live. They have the Swahili language, and then each
Hmm.
ethnicity speaks its language as well. Also, I know about their history because they struggled a lot about segregation and
Hmm.
the problem with the race and
Yeah.
yeah, but things are now much, but yani it's amazing. Like people living in harmony and things are amazing. The culture, the nature is also beautiful. Their food is super delicious. I love food so much. So
Really? Okay.
yeah, the
What
food
what kind
is
of
like,
food did they have?
yeah, it's mixed between African food, Indian food, because as I learned from the people there, the local people there, and that uh, s- um, back in the history when the Dutch used to travel
Hmm.
to or sail to India to buy the spices and get the spices. So they used to go through the Good Cape area. It's the last point in Africa.
Yeah. Yeah. Cape of Good
Continent.
Hope, right?
Cape of the Hope, yeah, the Cape of the Hope. Thank you for reminding me. So they used to cross that path. So by crossing that path, some of Dutch people stayed. That's why you can see the white race, you can see the Indian race, you can see the African race. You can see mixed
Hmm.
between the three of them. The Indian food and Indian spices are like there in the table, and it's very strong in the South African cuisine. Um, so yeah, the music also, it's mostly drums and mostly African music, but
Hmm.
it's really, yeah, delicious. Also, Portugal. I've been to Portugal, Lisbon in
Okay.
2019, and I was like mesmerized of the culture in Lisbon. The people, like the language was like easy to catch. The food is super delicious. Is like we tried also a sweet called pastis de nata. It's like custard with baked in a like buff pastry
Oh yeah. Yeah.
dough. Yeah, yeah, it's super
Hmm.
delicious. Yeah, and I've explored also their music. They have like music that is registered in UNESCO. It's called El Fado. El Fado is comes from the Latin word called fate, and families and wives of like the sailors who used to sail and come back, like after a while they used to sing it in the beaches and the shores of
Hmm.
like Lisbon, because and it's a sad music, so almost crying while they're singing it, waiting for their loved ones to come back and safely from their journeys. So yeah.
Wow. Huh. Interesting.
Yeah.
It's amazing what you learn when you're traveling to all these different places, or the things that you take away from each place. There's so many amazing things out there, and you just don't know unless you go and experience it.
Yeah, yeah. I'm sorry. It's still suffering from post-COVID.
Yeah, no worries, no worries.
I'm trying to sorry.
Yeah,
Trying
you're
to feel
fine.
better. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Actually, for me, it's very important, sorry, to learn about the language, to learn about the
Mm,
music and the food and the local people when I travel. I really make sure to explore these things while traveling. Yeah.
hmm. Yeah, I think that's so important. I mean, that's usually what that's why I travel too, is to really get immersed into the culture of where I'm at, and kind of understand where it all came from and how, how that society came to be how it is today too. I think
Absolutely.
that's so interesting, and one of the best educations that people can get is traveling and learning about the different cultures.
Yeah,
Um,
it widens your thinking and
mhm.
expose you to different culture and makes you make you like an open-minded person to accept others, to accept the
Yeah,
different. Yeah.
yeah, definitely. I've anyone that I've met that has traveled abroad, especially if they've traveled to maybe like a third world country or traveled somewhere not like Western Europe, um, is they're so much more open minded. They're so much more appreciative of what we do have, of our culture, and just a lot more understanding of other people. And I think we need a lot more of that. Obviously, there's a lot of tensions around the world and whatnot, but I think it's mostly from people that just don't, haven't experienced other cultures, haven't gotten out of their own little bubble, so to speak. Um, and I think everyone should have to go experience something different from what they know.
I absolutely agree with that. And being tolerant to others is like by understanding them.
Hmm.
And you cannot understand other people without knowing what's their culture is their food, their music, the traditions, and respect those traditions. Sometimes
Hmm.
it's not, especially when you travel to their country, it's like you're being around the local people. So it's very important to be exposed and to know their traditions and learn
Hmm.
about it to understand them.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. I think that's one of one of the negative stereotypes of American travelers is we can be very not tolerant. We can be very like expecting that people will speak English and people will, understand the American culture and whatnot. And that's definitely not always the case. And especially,
Yeah.
if we're if in a different place,
Hmm.
we're on someone else's, land, and we need to respect their cultures and traditions. And honestly, like I'm not traveling the world just to have more American culture. I want to go experience all these other
You want
cultures.
exactly. You want to learn more about the other culture and see the
Hmm.
different. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's amazing how much, like, I personally have taken so much from other cultures that I've experienced and really integrated it into my own life. And
Like what? Give us an example. I want to learn from you.
well, I was thinking of like tea. I really never drank tea until I went to Asia. I had
Mm,
traveled through Southeast Asia for like 2.5 weeks, and I just kind of fell in love with tea because that's basically all that we drank while we were there. And so I drink
interesting.
I drink a
Mm,
lot more tea now. I think with uh, I'm blanking right now, but like, well, in Italy, they take so much pride in their food, and they
yeah.
the meal is an experience. It's a lot more like laid back, um, I guess. Like they value their rest.
Hmm.
And so I try to integrate that too, even though it doesn't look like it on my Instagram. Um, I really try to relax as much as I can and just appreciate the moment. Um,
Yeah.
so.
I think it's very important with that. And one of the things that is being or has changed or is changing now is so many countries now are turning to the 4 day working
Mhm. Yeah.
days, and I think it is very interesting to give the people more time to rest and relax. So in order their productivity gets to be better and good to be in good quality. UAE, for example, the United Arab Emirates now have integrated that and the 4 days, the 4 working days, as well as I've read like in one of the newspaper that UK is thinking to follow the same policy. I'm not
Hmm.
sure about the states, but I wish it happened very soon in Saudi Arabia.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I think, like you said, I think people might be more productive if they have more time to rest. I know definitely in America, we've gotten to a point where people are just expected to always be working, always be productive, and it just kind of burns people out. I know, like depression, anxiety, all of that stuff is on a really big, steep incline right now
Oh
in
wow.
America, which
Mm.
is not good. um, I think we've dropped our overall like health and longevity ranking. We're now like 64th in the world or something like that, which is
Yeah.
kind of embarrassing, I guess.
Things
Um,
are changing in the world. Yeah, with COVID. Yani, thanks to COVID, it's changing the world, and some countries are
mhm,
following that. But like, for example, in Saudi Arabia, it's because we're changing now. We have the Vision 2030, and we have so many programs and initiatives that we're working on. Not only in culture, we're like we have so many areas that is getting to develop. So we have
mhm.
so many things to do to fulfill or achieve the Saudi Vision 2030. This put people under pressure and make them feel burned out quickly because everyone wants to
Mhm.
have a piece and the portion of the cake that is
Yeah.
yeah, country is developing, it's booming, we're now having like tourists and we're open to the world. Yani, this thing is it's affecting people as well and the mental health and the productivity.
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah. I agree. I think we could all learn to just kind of take a step back and just, appreciate where we're at and where we've come from. And obviously understand, we still have problems and still have, things to fix and, ways that we can make life better, but we've also come a
Yeah.
long, long ways from where it used to be.
Yeah, but you guys have to risk a little bit because the United States have been like developing since forever. For us, it's
Mhm.
we're starting the ride now, so I think it's gonna be a long ride. Yeah, and we're excited about it. Actually, we're very happy about the changes that is
Mhm.
being implemented, like especially for women rights,
Mhm.
um, the cultural and the social and economical changes that is happening. So many people are happy here about, especially the young generation, because we have never seen that before, and we're very happy and to welcome
Mhm.
the world to our country and to visit and to be part and a part of this change and to learn more about us, to learn more about our story, because what is the world is about is to learn and to know the story of the other, to
Yeah.
learn the struggles that we have been through to in order to achieve whatever you're achieving now.
Hmm. Hmm. Definitely. I know that's something that has moved, Saudi Arabia, the UAE to the top of my list of places to go is seeing how far those countries have come in the last, 10-ish years or so, and seeing all the
Yeah,
changes. And I'd love to go there now while it's still, changing so much. And so you get kind of a sense of what it used to be, but also see all the progress that's being made too.
yeah, exactly, and change the narrative of like the misleading image that the media, like we all know sometimes, yeah, there are things that are true, there are things that are not, but it's good to change the narrative and tell our story by ourselves, because this is
Hmm.
the time is like it's us, like the young ones who are willing to change and willing to tell the story in a brave way.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. That's so I wanted to ask you this question, and that was part of the reason why I was so excited to record this with you.
Yeah,
Is
I
to
hope
help.
it's not a controversial question. Tell
Well,
me.
I wanted people to see that, the world is not what the media portrays it to be all the time.
Oh yes.
So the question I wanted to ask you was, because this is a question that is always on the mind of especially American travelers, I think. But what would you tell listeners who are maybe from the US or somewhere else that are traveling to, the Middle East, Saudi Arabia,
Mhm.
in terms of, their safety while they're there, or what it's actually like, being in the culture there?
Yeah, so the culture, يعني, I'm speaking as a female, Saudi female
Hmm.
who lives here. The situation here is not what you see in the media or what you read about. Like we have struggled for a couple of years and so many things, but this thing is not related to our security. So, like we women weren't allowed to drive for some time here in Saudi, but this
Hmm.
doesn't mean that if I was in a ride, in an Uber ride, before before they allowed driving for women,
Hmm.
uh, um, being in an Uber ride was like very safe. Walking around is safe, and it's getting better and better with time. It was never worse, but like with the changes now, things are very smooth. Yeah, I can drive, I can walk around, I can meet people. I'm seeing more foreigners than ever before um, in Saudi Arabia. And I think, like, I don't want to talk a lot, but I just want to say one thing.
Hmm.
Try to come and learn about us, hear our story from us, not from the media. Yeah, yeah. It's not what you see and what you hear or what you listen or what you read. It's different when you go and visit and like hear the story from the local.
Hmm.
We have a different angle, and we're adopting the Arabian rich hospitality is and I'm saying wallah, the truth from my heart is this is part of our culture, hosting people and being happy to host people over and
Hmm.
have people in our country, and we are like showcasing this now with our tourism. We love to have people. Maybe in the past we didn't have the openness that we're having now, but having it now is making us very happy to have people and come visit us, see us, learn about us, read our story, listen and hear to our stories.
Hmm.
So
Yeah,
yeah, yeah,
that I 100% agree with that. That's what I thought the answer was going to be. Um, yeah, I with all the places, it's not what you see on TV or hear about all the time. You got to go and actually experience it, because I always tell people, eh, everyone's always concerned about my safety traveling abroad, sort of
yeah,
thing. But I always tell people, I'm like, you know, pretty much, like, most people around the world are pretty nice, pretty friendly. They
yeah.
want you to be there. Obviously there are, some struggles, there are some bad people out there for sure, but you know,
Everywhere in the world, like
99% of the time it's going to be totally fine. You're going to have a great time.
you're gonna have a great time. And yani, for example, me as a female solo traveling, Saudi female solo traveling, I was in danger when I traveled to Italy. Like the danger is like 50-50. It's not,
Mhm.
nothing will happen. Yani, it's everything in life is like 50-50. You have
Yeah.
this thing to happen, and this might also happen to you. Being safe is like 50% and being in danger as well. So the same thing happened in like, and even in Saudi, and even when you travel to anywhere in the world, I'm sure you you have back in your head like things that you hear and know about the country, but you go with zero expectations, so you accept more,
Mhm.
you be open to accept more and learn more about the country you're visiting.
Yeah, yeah, definitely travel with an open mind. You'll be surprised at, all the
Yeah,
amazing things you'll learn and experience.
that's right, that's right.
um, well, I know we're about an hour here. Any other major travel experiences that you want to talk about, or any other advice or recommendations for listeners?
Actually, if I would recommend one thing is like I feel like it's the golden recommendation is always try when you travel anywhere in the world to be with a local uh,
Hmm.
from the same country or the same city. It's different. It gives you like the tale. You will hear the tales that you don't know about it from booking
Yeah.
or from anywhere in the world, or from relatives or friends who've been to the same place before you. So it's
Hmm.
always nice to hear the story from a local person's, either in like Europe or even here in Saudi. Whoever wants to come to Saudi, you're welcome, and I'm here for anyone to be your guide and your navigation in Saudi Arabia. But like always hear the story from the local to know and to understand the person better.
Yeah.
For me, yeah, like I want to travel more, especially after COVID, who hold us like for almost 2 years.
Hmm.
I feel like I have more the eagerness and the willingness to travel more and explore more and know more about the people around the world.
Yeah, that's awesome. I
Mm-hmm.
love it. And I totally agree with if you can get connected with a local, it's going to make your trip that much better.
Yeah, I'm counting on you, Kyle, when I come to the States. You and Russell as well.
Yeah. Um, yeah, I mean the US is a big place, so we might not
I
be in the
know,
same
right?
location, but you get up to where I'm at in Washington State. I
Sure.
would love to have you and love to show you around and show you all the amazing things that we have here.
Yeah, I actually I know a little about Washington D.C. except that it's the capital city of the U.S. But I would
Yeah.
love to learn more about it through you and through Russell.
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah, we got to connect with Russell too.
Shout out to our friends who
Yeah.
met that night.
Yeah, I gotta get him on here one of these days too.
Yeah, sure.
Um,
That would be an amazing episode, I guess.
yeah, that'd be a lot of fun. But yeah, it's just fun meeting people around the world. It's fun getting to learn about other cultures and experiencing different ways of life and understanding that, what we're doing is not the only way. It's not the only right way to do things and just, appreciate life for what it is. We can make it however we want. And I think a way to do that is by traveling and experiencing other
Yeah.
places from your own.
Absolutely right. And we're living in an era where everything is easy and easy
Mhm.
to meet new people, easy to try new things, and easy to be with the locals. So utilize the technology, utilize the advantages that we have. It was never like before. So yeah,
Mhm.
and I hope in the future, like 100 years after now, things get to be faster. You can travel, for
Yeah,
example, to the States in like a blink of an eye, maybe. I don't know.
that'd be nice.
You never know. Yeah.
Yeah, that'd make traveling a lot easier.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
No.
well, awesome. Taghreed, one last question for you. Any trips planned right now for the near future?
Actually, I was like, as I told you in March, I'm going to Italy. Also, I want to be like in a different area rather than Europe.
Hmm.
For example, in June, I have like a wedding in Paris where I have to attend for a friend of mine. But for like, I want to explore more of the area near the I don't know if you know Azerbaijan and
Yeah,
like
yeah.
yeah, this is Azerbaijan in specific. I really want to go to this country. I feel like it's very rich in food and culture and
Mhm.
music and etc. All the tales that I want to learn about. Also,
Yeah.
I want to
I've heard.
mhm,
Sorry,
tell me.
go ahead.
No, it's just like very inspiring. Like,
Mhm.
I have been all wanted to visit Azerbaijan for a long time.
Yeah, yeah. I've heard that's an amazing place to go to, and I've heard Kazakhstan is a real
Yes,
good place to go to. I think it's kind of similar in that it's really growing a lot right now and changing.
yes, absolutely. That's I've read also about Kazakhstan. It's really pretty, and people there are very friendly. From so many friends of mine who visited, they told me people there are friendly. The food is good, and like it's very nice to explore this area. I feel it's a bit under the radar. Like people don't. It's
Oh
not a
yeah.
frequent area to visit, but like it's nice to explore it. Especially it's different from all the culture that we are familiar with.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah. I love hearing about those lesser known places. It's fun. Western Europe is very amazing to see, Paris, London, all those places.
Yeah,
But they're so popular and we've known about them for a long time. And,
absolutely.
you're going to get what you get, essentially. You know what you're going to see. But in, places like Kazakhstan, man, I have no idea, but it's really intriguing and exciting for me to think about going there.
Yeah, let's go together. Maybe this is
Yeah,
the trip
let's
that
do
we can do it this year. Yeah,
That
yeah,
would be fun.
absolutely. Kazakhstan, yeah.
Yeah, that'd be a lot of fun. Um,
So much
well,
fun. Mhm.
I think let's. This is a good time to wrap it up here. Taghreed, thank you so much for taking the time to share your experiences and share Saudi Arabia
Thank you.
with the listeners. I really enjoyed having you on today.
Yeah, me too, as well. Likewise, Kyle. I really had so much fun in talking to you. It felt like it's a very friendly, and it went like I didn't notice that we passed the hour, which is amazing.
Yeah,
It's a good sign. Yeah, I'm really
yeah,
happy to be, and also I welcome you again to Saudi Arabia and everyone who listen to us now or later, and like whenever. You're welcome.
hmm
Just reach out to me whenever you want. And Saudi welcome the word to us every time and anytime.
yeah, definitely. I appreciate that, and
Thank you.
same to you. And I will definitely get to Saudi Arabia soon, and take you up on that offer.
Thank you so much. And let's plan the Kazakhstan trip
Yeah,
very
yeah, let's
soon.
do it. Let's
Thank
do it.
you.
Maybe we could record another episode from Kazakhstan together.
Yeah. Hey, everyone. This is Kyle and Taghreed reporting from
Yeah,
Kazakhstan.
there we go. I like
Thank
it.
you.
Yeah, awesome. Well, Taghreed, thanks again, and I look forward to seeing you somewhere in the world again soon.
Likewise. Thank you so much.
Yep. All right. Bye, everyone. Hey everybody, Kyle here. If you enjoyed today's show and want more, you can always listen to other episodes on Spotify or Anchor. The links are in the description below. If you want to see travel pictures from today's guest and other guests, as well as my own travel photos, you can see them on Instagram. The page is called Our Travel Experiences Podcast. If you want to share your own travel pictures on the page and or share your travel experiences on the podcast, you can message me on that Instagram page or email me at ourtravelexperiences@outlook.com. I would love to hear about your travel experiences and see all the beautiful pictures that you've taken. Thanks again for listening, everyone, and I look forward to sharing the world with you again soon.